Okay. Hello, everybody. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm actually live. Hi, hi, hi. So good to see you all. Um, so we are talking about ethical selling today. We are talking about how to sell stuff without feeling or being sleazy, slimy, and gross. Um, which I know is something a lot of us are very interested in because we are tired of being sold to in sleazy, slimy, gross ways, but also we feel a little trapped, a little stuck, a little resentful of the fact that so many people expect us to sell in such a sleazy way as well. Okay, I am indeed live. Perfect. That is what I needed to know. All right. Let's talk about this. So, I think that the reason so many of us feel so gross about selling is because we know that our people don't want to be sold to, but we feel like we have to sell to them anyway. Right? Like, let's just get to the crux of the issue. A lot of our people don't want to be sold to, they don't want to buy stuff they don't need. And we feel like when we sell, we are trying to sell them something they've told us they don't want, and they don't want to be sold to about it. And so we feel gross. And to a certain extent, that is kind of maybe gross, right? To sell to people who have made it clear that they don't want to be sold to. Now, here's where I'm going to argue with those thoughts just a little bit, because did you notice in there I said people don't want to buy stuff that they don't need? My question is, why are you creating stuff that people don't need? Are you creating stuff that people don't need? And if so, why? And if not, why do you pretend when it comes time to sell that they don't need your stuff? So when I say need, let's be clear here. I don't mean need like they need food, water, shelter, right? Because most of us are not creating products, services that are as essential as like food, water, shelter. But that doesn't mean what we're creating is pointless or people don't need it or want it or anything like that, right? It just means that the need, it's a different type of need, right? Or maybe it's not a need at all. Maybe it's just a desire. But I think we need to stop we need to stop downplaying the importance of desire and the importance of wanting something, and that it's okay for people to want something and people will pay for things that they want even if they don't need it. So when people are like, I don't want to be sold to, I don't want people selling me crap I don't need, we can automatically start like deflecting that thought when we say, okay, but my stuff matters and I'm proud of my services. I'm proud of my products. I'm proud of what I sell. And I think many of us are when we make them, but then when we go to sell them, all that pride like shrivels up in the face of capitalism, right? Because capitalism says you have to sell this much. And if you don't, you can't pay your bills. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a little baby product you just created. Or heck, some of us will sell a course or a product before it's even fully made. And so that's just a ton of pressure to put on it, right? And so we don't want to do that. um, and instead, I think it really helps when you're running a business if it is possible for you to pay your bills without the business when you're starting. And I know that that's like kind of counter to what a lot of coaches will tell you. Like, you got to go all in. You got to like take out a loan if you need to. You got to like make this business work. And for some people, that's what you need to do. And I'm not here to argue that. But I will say that for a lot of us, and for me included, I did not just like quit freelancing and start a business. I freelanced for a good year, year and a half before I quit and went full time in my business. And like, I couldn't have quit right away because, yeah, that would have given me more time and energy to put toward my business, but it would have been so scary to me to not have the income we needed to pay our bills that I don't think I would have been able to work on the business. I think I would have been so stressed out. I don't know that I would have been able to be any more productive. In fact, I probably would be less productive. So, anyway, kind of a bit of a tangent about like how to fund your business, but I mean, I just don't think like for some people, especially my autistic folks out there, hello, hi, I am also autistic. I think for some of us, it's not possible to work like a 9 to 5 job and start a business. Like that's just not a thing we can do. And this is where like small business loans can come in really handy and be really helpful. But I still would recommend having a really solid business plan before you even apply for that loan. I mean, you're going to need a solid business plan to get the loan, but like you want to make sure you utilize that loan to make your way to bill paying money quickly, right? So anyway, that's a whole side note, but it is related to selling because why are we selling? Because we need to pay our bills, because we want to fund the lifestyle we want, because we deserve to be compensated for our labor, right? So it's all interconnected. But I just think sometimes the reason we feel gross when we sell is because we don't believe in our product. We don't believe in our services. We don't believe in ourselves. And I think our people read that, they know that we don't feel super good about what we're selling. And so that just makes them feel gross too. It's like, why are you selling me something you don't even believe in? Why would I buy that? And it just becomes this like closed loop of like, you feel bad about your product. So that makes your customers feel bad about the product. So they don't buy, which makes you feel bad about the product. And it becomes this like closed cycle. So what in the world are we supposed to do instead? Right? Like what is the answer, Megan? Well, I mean, there's the obvious, which is you need to feel confident about your products and services. And there's lots of ways to do this. So you can do market research and ask people what they want before you create it. I think that's a good way to get started with like, okay, what do people want? I will make them what they told me they wanted. Now, here's the problem with that though, that I have learned from many a business coach and from my own personal experience is that people will tell you they want one thing, but what they really want is another. And this isn't other people trying to be shady or like sleazy or anything. It's just humans. It's not that like people who sell stuff understand human beings better than the people buying stuff, but like I don't always know what I want. Like when I go to the store and I'm like, I think I want this, but I don't know. Like, I'm indecisive. Lots of people are indecisive. And there's lots of things in my life that I like to tell people I want a solution to, but I don't really want a paid solution. I just want like something free to fix it real quick. you know, and that's fine. It's fine for people to feel that way, right? Like your people don't owe you wanting to buy your stuff. But if you're going to do market research, you want to make sure you do it in a way that you get answers about what people are willing to pay for solutions to, you know? Um, so market research is a good way to make sure you're creating stuff that your people actually want, which can make it so that you feel better about selling it, right? Which also means your people are going to enjoy being sold to because they want that solution. They told you they wanted that solution and you made it for them. Perfect, right? I really saw this with my the Neurodivergent Clubhouse, which is my monthly membership over in my other business, all about autism, ADHD, ADHD. I really saw this when I changed the price point for that membership from $27 a month to pay what you can, starting at $3 a month. People loved being sold to. They were like, thank you for telling me about this. I would have been so mad if I missed this. Like, thank you for selling to me. Like, they didn't phrase it that way, but they were grateful to know about the opportunity, right? And it's not just price that can do that. They were also excited about what they were getting. Because yeah, I can sell pay what you can, $3 a month, like, but if you get one call with me a month and that's it, a lot of people, even for $3 a month, aren't going to sign up for that. Whereas, I give them a ton of value when they join that Pay What You Can membership. And so they're really excited for it. And I create a lot of hype around it when I'm selling it. And hype when you're selling can be ethical, and I think it can be unethical. I think we have to do it carefully. So I think it's important to hype up your products because it shows you believe in them. And I think it's important to hype up your products because it makes other people excited to be a part of them. And I think it increases that like community aspect. This is especially relevant when you're selling like a membership like I do. But we also don't want to hype it up so much that we like whip people into a frenzy and like get them so excited to join that they don't even know what they're joining. We want to make sure we're also clear. We want to make sure we're also calm. So a calm hype. Like you want to vibe with people more than you want to like amp them up. Right. There's like a difference there. I know that sounds kind of the same, but I think they're different. So let's see. What else did I do? Make sure you're selling something they actually want. You can change the price. Sometimes that helps, but sometimes it doesn't. So you can add value. Again, sometimes that helps. Sometimes it doesn't. But other ways that you can feel better, feel really good about your product. Sometimes people will just like slash their prices and they're like, this will make me feel better. No, it won't. It really probably won't. The only reason you should slash your prices is if your people need a lower price and you can afford to give it to them. In that case, please slash your prices, but don't slash them thinking that that's going to make you feel better about selling it, because money guilt is pervasive. It is a crappy, crappy scarcity mindset that is no one's fault except for capitalism's, right? That is not your fault. That is not you doing anything wrong. It's not scarcity mindset in the sense that like you are thinking the wrong way. It's scarcity mindset in the way that like capitalism tells us that all the wealth in the world is just one pie and there's only so much. And that's just like not how it works. As any investor will tell you as they make money just because they have money, right? That's not how pie works, right? They know it's not pie. They're just lying to us, the peasants, to get us to not, I don't know, put them in a guillotine. Anyway, sorry. So there are other ways you can feel really good about your product. Sometimes I do this with products I made a long time ago that I'm still selling. Sometimes I just go back through them and I'm like, wow, this is really good. I'm good at this. Like, yeah, this is really valuable. People are going to really like this. This is great. So that's always really helpful to just go back through old products before you sell them again and fall in love with them all over again so that you can sell with like a really clear eyes, you know? And you are a little bit hyped about the product or the service. So it's easy to help hype other people too, you know? What are some other ways that you can start to feel good about selling your stuff? Okay, so here's a thing that I think really helps, and that is you've got to start to separate capitalism and business in your mind, because they are absolutely separate and different things. Excuse me. Because if you think they're the same, and if you don't like capitalism, then you're going to grow to resent your business. And then it's kind of like, why are you running it then? Right? If you think your business is inherently tied to capitalism and you hate capitalism, like, why are you doing this whole business thing? And it's like, well, but I need the money and it's like passive income. And like, I think wanting to make money is a perfectly good reason to start a business. I don't think you need to have some like deep, majestical inner calling. I think it's okay to just be like 9 to 5s don't work for me, so I'm going to run my own business to pay my bills. I think that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think small business owners are held to like this bizarre standard where like no one else is expected to be madly in love with their job, but we are. And if we aren't, then we're like swindling con men. And I think that's very silly. But I think, how did I get onto this? Hold on. This is the problem with doing lives, y'all. Like, I am a little bit all over the place. But I think I was saying something about how like if you need to just make money to make money, that's totally, totally fine. But at the same time, you need to know how you're going to do it. And you need to know like how you're going to help people. Because you can't just be like, I need to make money, give me money. That's called mutual aid. That's not a business. And mutual aid is wonderful, but it's very different from running a business. That's what we were talking about, business versus capitalism. So you can't hate capitalism and love your business if you think they're the same thing. Let's talk about how they're different. So, it is possible to do business in a less capitalistic way. I don't know if it's possible to do it in a completely non-capitalistic way, but like I think there are anti-capitalist values we can instill into our business and anti-capitalist business practices that we can adopt that make our businesses safer and more comfortable for everyone involved, from us to the people who work for us to the people who buy from us, right? And I think some of those anti-capitalist business practices we talked about in my free class that I taught last Friday, Anti-Capitalist Business 101. It was great. And we're going to cover so much more of this inside the Making Money as a Leftist program. So today is actually the last day that you can sign up, not for the program at all. You can sign up for the program next week and stuff. That's fine. But today is the last day you can sign up and get this like really bananas bonus, this bonus that my coach told me not to offer that I'm going to offer anyway because I love it and I just want to do it this time. Probably won't offer this as a bonus in the future. We'll see how it goes. But you can get, if you sign up for the Making Money as a Leftist program today, then you can get additional one-on-one coaching with me. So basically we would do 1 hour of Voxer office hours, which usually come with the program as like group Voxer hours, office hours, but this will be individual. This will be just you and me for an hour every week in addition to the group chat and the Zoom and all that stuff. So usually this is a $333 add-on. You get it completely for free. But only if you join today. If you join tomorrow, then it'll be $333 extra to do that. I did institute a longer payment plan. My software is being very strange and not like letting me do it. My System.io software, which I know you guys have seen me promote it. I love System.io. I think it does a really great job, but man, every now and again, something weird goes wrong and I need to contact support. I did contact support, but they emailed me back. I need to email them and be like, no, it's still not working. But for now, I have just a separate link for folks who need the 10-month payment plan, which would make it $56 a month, but you would be paying for 8 months after this program ends. It's only a 2-month program. I just want to be clear about that. As long as you're okay with that, I'm okay with it. The payment plan is interest-free, which means it does not cost extra to use it. I just took the amount, divided it by 10, and that was that. So let's see. What else? I don't know. So that's the Making Money as a Leftist program. But do you see, hopefully, this is like my goal. Do you see how that like seamlessly flowed? Not the end there, obviously, that was a bit muddled, but like how I flowed from education and validation into my sale, because the Making Money as a Leftist program is something I know people want. It's something I know people have been searching for. I know because I was searching for it for a long time. And finally, I was like, I guess I'm just going to make it, because I think there's a lot of leftists and anti-capitalist folks out there who really want to run businesses, who really want to like do this job, this entrepreneurship job, but they feel like they can't do it and still be a good person. And I think you can. I really think you can. I think there are anti-capitalist business practices out there, and I'm out to find them and to implement them and to teach them to others. So I can teach you what I already know. I can teach you about equitable pricing models. I can teach you about pay what you can. I can teach you about interest-free payment plans and all this other really what I think is pretty cool when it comes, I almost said radical. It's not really radical, but it's cool ways to run your business in a way that's like respectful to other people and their time and money, but also respecting your own time and money as well. You know, you don't want to undercharge for your services, in my opinion, not because it like cheapens the brand or something, because I think that's a little bit silly, but I think you don't want to undercut yourself, because then let's say you hire somebody. Are you going to undercut them? Are you going to cut their salary because you cut your own? Like, why is it not okay to exploit other people, but exploiting ourselves is fine? I think there's this Christian type of self-loathing, and I could be wrong about the Christian element, but to me, I was raised Catholic, and there is this element in Christianity of self-loathing and of, well, I'm inherently genuinely very bad, and the only thing that saves me is God. And I think capitalism kind of works the same way. Oh, you are inherently bad, and the only thing that saves you is money, right? There's a similar story being told, and I think you just want to avoid. Not that you can never give discounts or never, I give discounts plenty, like it's fine. I just mean you want to make sure that you're making the money you need to pay your bills and stuff, because that is what jobs are for, right? Like, this is a business and you have to make money, and that is not a bad thing, right? Like, I know that that is sometimes really hard and really frustrating, but it is the truth that you are not bad. You're not a bad person. And running a business doesn't make you one, I don't think. I could change my tune, but as far as I'm aware, like, I think there are ways to do this in an anti-capitalist way. So, okay, how to sell without hiding the fact that you're selling. Let's just dive into that now, right? So this is something I used to do a lot, which is like I would make an educational post, and then at the very end of the post, you would scroll through all the carousel slides. At the very end, it would be like, if you liked this, if you resonated with this, if this makes sense to you, go ahead and buy my autism and ADHD discovery binders, or go ahead and join the Get Shit Done program, you know, whatever. And First of all, this method of selling doesn't work very well because a lot of people don't get to the last slide. Number two, it doesn't work very well because people weren't expecting you to sell to them. They were expecting education. And then you went and sold to them. Third, this can feel slimy, sleazy, and gross because people weren't expecting you to sell to them. They engaged in this thinking they were getting education, and instead they got a sales pitch. And that doesn't always feel very good, right? So I think something I have started doing more and more with my sales, with my Instagram posting in general, is just being really upfront like, hey, these are my prices. This is what I'm selling. And I've also realized it's not my job to educate every single person about every little thing, which is hard because I want to. But it's not my job and it's not good for me or for the business. Because if I'm educating sort of the person who's furthest removed from my ideal client in order to turn them into my ideal client, that's like a 2 or 3 year like runway I've got them on, right? And that's if they even listen to me, which half of them don't. A lot of people really like to fight on the internet, so that's a whole other thing. Um, and I think it's way more effective to just tell people, I am selling this. Do you want it? But it's also way more transparent. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I can't literally say, I am selling this. Do you want it? And I'm like, personally, I kind of think you can. But that's how I've sold most of my one on one coaching spots is in Instagram stories saying, hey, I have 3 spots. Who wants one? And like, that's it. That's how they sell. They don't sell through my complicated education posts or my super like goofy relatability reels or whatever. They sell in my stories when I say, do you want this? Right? This is what it costs. Come work with me. That's how I sell the most spots. So anyway, I think selling transparently is just all about being upfront and being yourself. So I actually cast a spell on my social media, which I'm very, very proud of. Let me go ahead and find it. And yeah, okay. I am casting a spell, a love spell, a spell of warding. So see, even there, I'm announcing what I'm doing. And you don't always have to do this, but it makes things really transparent. Dear Internet, I am me, and you do not have to like it. But if you don't, then you are no longer welcome in this space. I am no longer inviting, entertaining, or pleading for love from people who do not see me as a whole person, deeply lovable and deeply flawed. You are invited and welcomed into this space if you seek the destruction of empire and the rise of community, if you accept the light within yourself and the darkness within me, if you love in all its forms, from gentleness and authenticity to grief and rage. May anyone who chooses to remain in this space with me find community, not through compromise, but through collaboration. May we each be our own infinity, joining together to create an even larger infinity. I welcome you if this space is right for you, and if not, I send you off with peace. So for me, that was really powerful. And then the caption was, no, nothing happened. All is well. I'm just making a few energetic shifts, read as having some existential crises, changing my entire business strategy, crying a lot, and also being so grateful for everything that has led me to where I am. I know I'm not for everyone. I've known that since I was a child. What I know now, though, is that I don't have to be. I am going to stop mutilating my soul to try and be whoever I think is easiest to love, and I will just be difficult to love because is loving me so, so worth it. Yeah. And then I also posted, this is on my other account, the Neuro Curiosity Club, but I also posted like, these are my prices. This is what we do. Or like on this Instagram, the Chaotic Entrepreneur, I just posted, hey, here's the Making Money as a Leftist program. Here's how much it costs. Here's what we're doing. Like, come join us. So yeah, I think just being upfront is fine. I think we're taught to be kind of sneaky because people don't want to be sold to, but that's not answering what they want. They don't want to be sold to, so the answer is not to sell to them sneakily. No, it's to sell them something they actually do want to be sold. Or just stop selling to them. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's like I'm not selling to the people who don't want me to sell to them anymore. They're not the people I'm speaking to when I write posts anymore. Let them move on. Let them unfollow me. Let them, go find what they need elsewhere, right? My job is not to be everything to everyone all the time, right? My job is not to be convenient. My job is not to be perfect. My job is I mean, depends on my business, which one I'm talking about, but generally speaking, my job is to be a lived experience guide. My job is to help people better understand their life using experiences I've had in my life. So, I this has been a bit rambly, but I hope this was helpful. It's okay to be transparent about your sales. You're gonna scare people away, and that's kind of the point, right? We don't want to collect all of these people who don't wanna buy from us. You wanna collect people who do wanna buy from you. So it's okay to scare people away, and I know this is really hard for people with attachment wounds, like, I know I have, and, it can be really tricky to, like, be yourself on social media for so many reasons, but it can be really tricky to be yourself in business too because it's like, well, I don't wanna scare anyone away, I don't wanna repel anybody, because the more people who follow me, the more likely I am to get a customer. But I just don't think that's always the case because you need to attract the people who want to buy, not just anybody. So, all right, that's what I've got for you. Nice little 25-minute rant. I hope this was really helpful. I am working on getting like regular non-live videos out there. So we're working on that. It's a slow and steady process, but I will talk to you all later.